USC misses a college football playoff appearance. The consolation is a trip to Dallas in the Cotton Bowl to take on Tulane, of course, the group of five rep in the college football bowl landscape this season. We got Steve Merrill on the line from wagertalk.com. Get all of his selections on not just college football, but the NFL, college basketball, and the NBA right there at Wager Talk. Steve, we got a USC team that could have made the playoff, but they lost the Pac-12 championship game and really got blown out in the second half after a 2-touchdown lead. And now interesting matchup because, you've got a non-power brand there in Tulane, but they're coming off a big season. And of course, the American Conference champion.
Yeah, this is such a great game, to talk about as far as how to handicap the bowls. I mean, if you look at this on the surface, if you didn't know anything else that was going on, you'd be like, how is USC only a 1.5 point neutral field favorite over Tulane? And the line only opened 2.5, by the way. I mean, this from the gate, the odds makers knew what to do with this game because Caleb Williams getting injured in that Utah game, and he still tried to play through it. And this is a situation where USC, all they had to do was win. They're in the playoffs for the national title. And now they're playing Tulane in the Cotton Bowl. They don't even get to the Rose Bowl because of that loss to Utah. I mean, everything crumbled on that Friday night. On the surface, though, USC did not deserve to be in the Final Four. This is a defense that on the season is now giving up 6.3 yards per play versus teams that average 6. Tulane averages 6.4 against opposing defenses allowed just 6. I mean, Tulane actually has the matchup edge offensively against USC. Tulane has a substantial defensive edge, to be honest. Now, I know they played a weaker schedule, about a touchdown weaker, by the way, on average, but they give up 4.8 yards per play, 20.5 points a game. USC, once again, 6.3 yards per play. So Tulane's given up over 1.5 yards less per play this season, and their offense is capable. So no question Tulane's going to be excited about this game, right? Cotton Bowl, first of all, right across the border there. I mean, it's a close game for them. Any bowl game, they would have been excited, but like a power game like this, to play USC, a team that was all basically one game away from being a playoff team. So the motivational aspect is off the chart. So what we do here is we just figure out, can Tulane compete? It looks weird. In fact, if I run my raw power ratings with everybody in the game, normal motivation, it'd be USC by about 7.5. So on a neutral field. So these teams are not as far apart as you might think. You would have thought it'd been 10, 14 points on average. So I understand this low line, and I understand why some money has come on Tulane. They opened at 2.5 under that key number of 3, obviously, because they knew it wasn't a good spot for USC and the early sharp money. And by the way, people betting this game on December 5th and 6th when it first came out, that's sharp money. That's not the public tying their money up for a January 2nd game. They didn't even wait for it to ever hit 3. They instantly took the 2.5s down to the +1.5, +1s even. So it does look like Tulane's the side here, even though there's probably no value anymore at this point. It's really hard to make a case for USC other than maybe being the more talented team. But then again, we have a month here to the game is played. We got to make sure who's even playing in this game.
Yeah, if you want to look at incentive for Tulane, just look at the football history of this school. It's been a long time since they played in a major bowl game. It's been decades, and they were a 2-10 team just last season. So USC and Tulane, we get the rundown from Steve Merrill on Wager Talk. WagerTalk.com is to check out Steve's complete lineup of his selections on all the major sports. And of course, join us on Patreon.com to get Steve's under the radar selection where he's 12-1 against the spread. Again, it's Patreon.com. Search Mark Rogers TV. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Mark.